So what we're going to talk about today, if you were at the training event we had here in the Orlando area yesterday, you got a good dose of this. I'm going to give you the exact same thing. I am absolutely committed that database is where every single person here is going to end up in their real estate career, period. This is where your real estate career goes. Everything you do is about your database. So what we want to talk about today is how can we use this database, or how can we get our database set up? And that's the mission. How do we get it set up? What's the systems in place for it? This is probably the most important thing you can do in your career. For everybody on the call, y'all pay attention. Every single one of you, this is the truth. 3 years into real estate, more than 50% of your business will come from your database, almost exclusively. That is, it's not an absolute, but let's say 85% of you, that's the truth. Your database might as well get set up and get functional right now, because I guarantee you, you will want it at a high level. My mission is to make this extremely easy for you so that you can set it up with almost no fuss. You can run it with very little time commitment. I'm actually looking for every one of you to say, I'm going to give you 30 minutes to an hour a day, George, but that's it. And maybe 45 minutes once a month. The long part of this, the long win, is going to be the financial rewards for you. And we're going to cover the numbers as well. Now, the last thing we're going to talk about, the last two things we're going to talk about, is how do we add new people to our database, and what's the system for adding them in? And quite honestly, everything must be systematized. That does not mean that we're robots when it comes to database and the people we're involved with, but the follow-up systems allow us to have a consistency that allows the actual beneficial results to occur. So this is being recorded, and I want you guys to go back to this if you want it. We are going to cover database at a high level. Now, I'm going to use some visuals for this. So for some of you that are driving or are unable to have it on your computer, you're on your phone, it may be a little bit tight. Look for the YouTube video that's coming out if you want to watch it again. It's there. Joe, do me a favor. Can you please drop in the YouTube channel? I challenge you all to go and sign up for this and click whatever it is, notifications, and subscribe so that you'll get notified of it. Most of the YouTube videos, they're all these classes, by the way. This is one you absolutely want to be able to watch again, because this is your business. This is your future. And I promise you, knowing full well, that's the case. I'm going to give you a little background story on what stupid looks like and how stupid acts. Now, that doesn't mean I'm stupid. It just means I've done some stupid things. I started off in real estate, and my real estate career started with for sale by owners exclusively. That's all I did was for sale by owners and a little bit of farming, and worked out real well. 26, 28, 30 homes my first 3 years. And then my business started becoming more referral based. It started becoming more of the people I was in relationship with. And then I added marketing to that, ended up doing a fair amount. I think we're selling about 150 homes a year. And that was with TV marketing. But my database was really where the best leads, the most inexpensive leads, and the ones that didn't take up the most time came from. You will find that your business is going to transition to database for sure. No questions asked about this. And your database has to be set up so that we can have communication with them in a consistent manner. Now, somewhere around 2008, I started doing REOs. I mean, like a lot of them. And I got drafted by Fannie Mae to do this. And my entire business at that point for the next 9 years was 100% bank owned, with some database in there when they call me, but I was so busy, I usually referred it out. I did not follow up with one single buyer because I represented the seller. My database basically dried up and disappeared. I joined this amazing company that I'm currently with right now. And if you're, if y'all are business partners of mine, you know who that is, but I don't like to bring this up on these calls because this is about agents. It's not a brokerage conversation. It's an agent conversation. When I switched over to this company 4.5 years ago, I gave up 6 listings per month. Now, I did that because I knew this was the right fit for my business and the right model for my business. So I was very comfortable doing so, but I had to figure out what the heck we're going to do. And we dove back into our database, but we didn't have one. Remember, our past clients were all REO bank sellers. We don't have much. We had to figure out a way to start communicating on a regular basis to our database. What we've come up with is just that. This is how databases should be managed. Now, there's a page that let me share this with y'all so you can see it. Joe, I dropped this in the bottom. I'm going to ask you if you wouldn't mind. It says today's info. It's in the chat. Redrop it for me. We're going to talk about the upload template. This is the upload template. You copy and paste that. It's right there for you. You want a template for the postcard I'm going to talk about? This is a template for the postcard. Amplified mail is here if that's who you're going to use mailing. If you're going to do postcards, that's who I would strongly recommend, as well as a written down cheat sheet of how to add other people or how to add people into your database. Now, the reason I bring this up is I want you all to have access to this, and it's going to be available for you as Joe continues to drop that in. It's called Today's Info for Presentation. Let's jump right into it. Boy, I hope this works. Y'all give me some, I don't know if you can do this. I guess you're going to have to. Somebody give me a thumbs up if you see database. It should say database, how to thrive in any market. Is that what you're all seeing?
Yes.
Awesome. So I can actually now figure out how to, I'm really excited about this, guys. I didn't know I could do a PowerPoint presentation on Zoom. Thank you. So let's jump in. This is how to thrive in any market. What we're going to cover, maybe. There we go. What we're going to cover is what is the center of influence, the number of database heavy, the numbers for database heavy business, where they come from and how to add more, how to organize them and how to communicate with them easily. And if we have some time, I'm going to jump into micro parties. Hopefully we'll have an opportunity to hop into those just a little bit. For every 12 people communicated to effectively and consistently, 2 sales will occur. Now, y'all hear that. For every 12 people you communicate effectively and most importantly, consistently, 2 sales will occur. Now, that's not a bad deal considering there's very little cost involved in this. Here's the part that's important. One is going to be a transaction for one of your for somebody in your center of influence, your database. The other one is more likely than not going to be a referral base. Now, this was something we figured out in 2005, 4, 5, 6, and 7. It's all in the Millionaire Real Estate Agent book. It's when I was with Keller Williams and we were doing a ton of research on this. These numbers are actually factual numbers. All right, here's some basic math on the numbers. Number one, if we have 100 people in our center of influence, that bucket that holds the really good people, and for every 12 people, we should see 2 closings. So 100 divided by 12 is about 8.33 groups of 12. Now, of these 8.33 groups of 12, 2 closings should occur per each group, or about 16 closings. That turns out, by the way, there's an asterisk here on purpose. This is not going to happen in the first year. If you put 100 people in the database, it's not going to be all of a sudden you're going to turn into this. This is what the numbers look like. It's $160,000. If you have 100 people in your database this year, there's a good chance you won't get 16 closings out of it. Next year, it's almost assured. But it's all about the consistency. And what we're going to talk about today is how to get to those numbers is by what we do and how we set up our database. And I promise you, y'all pay close attention to this. This is really important. I don't want more than 30 to 45 minutes a day from you. And I'm going to show you how to take weekends off. I'm going to show you how to manage it at a high level. And well, we'll get to that in just a second. All right. What is a center of influence? It's someone that you know that knows you, that through your relationship, you have influence. The only way you have influence is if that person trusts you. Everybody here, remember me saying at every ending, go out and tell somebody you love them, that they're important, that they matter. That is something that is very, very beneficial to do in everything you're doing. So I'm going to ask you to consider that this may be a new way of which you're going to communicate on a regular basis to everybody. But a center of influence absolutely has that ability. They have to pass what I call the Publix Tester, and if you're not in Florida, the grocery store test. It goes something just like this. Make this work. You're walking down the aisle of Publix or a grocery store, the main aisle, you look down one of the side aisles, you see somebody down there. You got 2 choices. And the first choice is you duck, run, and cover and roll away so they don't come and talk to you because you don't remember their names and you don't know anything about them, but you recognize them. They do not go on your list. The second is you walk down, you're like, hey, John, how are you? Say hi to them and know them. That person should be on your list. That person passed the Publix test. They are actually somebody that you're in relationship with. They know you, you know them. See if I can make this work. Do you like them? And this is real important, guys. Don't put somebody on your list that you don't care for. Bottom line is, if you don't like them, the chances are they're not good people. They don't need to be on your list. We'll show you how to add more people to it easily. Do they have influence? Now, there's a thought process that you're looking only for people that have influence, and that's not true. But if they do have influence, somebody like a foreclosure, or not a foreclosure, A divorce lawyer, huge influence there. You know what I mean? A bartender who's very outspoken and works at, I don't know, Morton's, big influence. They know everybody. You can pick and choose what that is, but influence actually helps. So don't forget to seek out people that actually have influence. And are they communicative? Will they have a conversation and engage with you? You'll find that out over the next course of the next month or two when you're having conversations with them. And if it doesn't make you feel good, it's probably, this is Brian Offner, it's probably too heavy. Get out of it. We don't need it. You don't need the headache. All right. Where do they come from? There's a great book out there that Gene Frederick wrote. It's 101 Ways to Lead Generate. Bottom line is they come from everywhere. Here's just a couple examples. Daily life, shirts, hats, business cards. Anybody here have a shirt that says, I'm a realtor, that doesn't make me stupid, ask me a hard question? Does anybody have something that says realtors need hugs too? Something that calls attention and causes a conversation. I just made those up, by the way. The reason for it is, why wouldn't you market yourself everywhere to have a conversation with somebody? Now, I'm going to show you how to do it without bringing real estate in. However, a billboard, which is shirts, hats, and business cards, should say something about it. You can obviously meet them at open houses. You can meet people to add into your database anywhere. If you're on a meeting, what's this called? If I went to a networking group and I'm having a conversation with a financial planner, I'm going to have conversations about this financial planner. I'm going to talk about him and what he does. We did this yesterday in this class, and I want you guys to consider, if I'm talking to a financial planner, I'm going to ask him this question. What do you do in the middle? What do you do during the day to keep yourself busy? Now, if it's a single mom who's raising 3 children and very, very engaged in something else and is a hairdresser, for lack of a better word, I'm going to talk to her about the 3 children, about how she manages all that and what she does. I'm going to be interested in her world and her life. That's the most important part, be interested. With a financial planner, say, oh my God, that's real interesting. Once they start talking, this is important. Let's say they say, and I help people plan their estates. Here is how you get them to keep talking. Y'all watch this, and it's an uptick, and this is important. It's a high skill. Helping them plan their estates, now it becomes a question. I finish with a high note. It becomes a question. They go, yeah, I help people planning their estates. You can help somebody continue their conversation about whatever they're talking about. The more you talk to them about them, the more interesting you become. I won't call Styel out on the call this time. I did it yesterday and I really threw her under the bus. The bottom line is I did an experiment with Styel, with Jackie there. She's a friend of ours and was over at the house for dinner or something. I had a 15-minute conversation with her all about her. Now, I did it on purpose because I was just showing this to Jackie. And I said, this is the power of that conversation. Then Jackie interviewed her afterwards because she knew what to say. I said, what were you, George, talking about? She goes, oh, that was the best conversation ever. We just had so much fun. Jackie knew full well that I didn't bring one thing about me. So Jackie asked her some questions. Said, what did you guys talk about? Well, we talked about Brazil. We talked about traveling. We talked about this. Did you talk about George at all? No, not one thing. You know what he was doing today? No, nothing. Have a conversation about them. It makes you very, very interesting. Now, again, we're on to what we're talking about now is lead generation, or finding new people to place into your database. Those people are everywhere. It is important that you always have in your mind that I'm going to add somebody if I can. Easiest way to do it, ask them, what do you do during the middle of the day that keeps you busy? They will tell you. Be interested in what they're saying. If you find halfway through the conversation you don't like them, finish, get done, get out of there. They're not the right person. But if you're genuinely having a good, enjoyable time with them, there's a good chance they belong in your database. For all of you out there that are thinking this, because I know it goes through everybody's head, it's gone through mine too. Oh my God, what would I say? I don't want to talk to them about real estate. That would just be salesman, and it would be kind of cheesy, quite honestly. We're going to walk you through what to say. But first, where do they come from? I think we got that covered fairly well. Let's move on if we can. Yeah, it works. All right. So how to organize them. Very important. I use this analysis of a lake. Every single person you know is this lake. Okay. This lake is awesome and it's great. And there's thousands of people in there. But what we're looking for is one bucket of the best water in the lake. And this is 100 to 200 people. That's the number you're striving for, and you don't want to go above. Not yet. And we're going to call that our bucket of center of influence. Now, for anybody out there, because I can see y'all, I pulled you up on this one. I'm going to, just the people that have their camera on, and because that you guys know who you are, everybody has their camera on. If I told you that you had 100 people and you had to call them every single month without fail, Who thinks they could get through that every single month for a year straight? Just by saying, here's 100 people, you make the calls. Show of hands. Awesome. Love that. Cool. Do you think that there's an opportunity if I'm just randomly giving you 100 people and you say, okay, in the first of the month, get started. Do you think there's an opportunity that you might not be able to be as consistent or on purpose and that will really take a couple of days to get through it? And it's going to be challenging for everybody to manage that at a high level. Think of it this way. It's kind of like saying, I'm going to drink a gallon of water in one sitting. Okay. You can do it. This is a gallon of water. And I will tell you, if you try doing that in one sitting, you're going to pee yourself. It's not going to work and you can't consistently get through it. What I'm suggesting is trying to drink or call 100 people and communicate with 100 people, and you're doing it haphazardly, is like trying to eat an elephant. It's an overwhelming task. We need to figure out a way where we can kind of break this down. So let's pretend that when we talk about this gallon of water, we're talking about our leads, and there's 128 leads in there. Y'all have the answer right here. There are 28 days in every single month. What if we took these 128 people or 128 ounces and divided them by 28, which is the exact number of days in every single month on the calendar? Y'all follow me? That's 4.6 ounces per day if it were water. If it's people, let's say it's 5 people per day. So what I'm suggesting is if you're trying to drink a gallon of water and you try and do it all at once, it's like eating an elephant. Who here thinks they've got the capability to drink every day 5 ounces of water? If that were the minimum standard, would you be better with drinking a gallon of water, you got to get through it, or 5 ounces of water a day, something a little more manageable? 5 ounces. So what I want you to consider is we're going to swap that ounces out to 5 people a day. 5 of our database that we want to communicate with on purpose and with intelligence. This is what it looks like. You got 5 ounces or 5 people a day. And our goal is to have a conversation with just 5 people every single day. This is what it looks like. Now, here's the cool part. Let's say you take a weekend off. On Monday, you may have to call a whopping 8 people. Let's say you take a full weekend off. You may have to call 9 before and 9 after. So here's my question to you. Again, with the people I can see the hands. If I challenged you to talk to 124 or 128 people over the course of the month and don't miss anybody, or I challenge you to say, listen, I want you to reach out to 5 people a day. Who thinks 5 people a day is a manageable task if that's going to equate out to, hear me out, $160,000 with a $75 or $756 expenditure? Do I have your attention? You get 128 people in your database. You continue to communicate with them intelligently, on purpose, and with a system that allows it to happen. This way, we can do this. We can even allow for long weekends or even, heck, a week off. It's okay when you're here looking at this if you take a weekend off. So you may have to call 9 people. Can anybody here call 9 people a day? Remember, your only job talking to them is to make them feel good, let them know you care, and shine bright, powerful, positive feelings on them. It's not even talking real estate. In fact, I'm going to show you how to deflect. Anybody here comfortable with the idea of investing about 30 to 45 minutes a day, having a conversation with, I don't know, 5 or 6 people or 9 people if you miss, and telling them that they're an awesome person because these are people you actually like, and having the result of that being an income of over $160,000 from people who want to work with you, already love you, and trust you? You got that, where you can prospect for sale by owners. Anybody that wants the for sale by owner prospecting, raise your hand over the database where they actually love you and call you. I'm going to go the same thing. Everybody want database. That's where our business will naturally and organically evolve to. All right. I'll use this. It's easier. All right. So this is my CRM on my phone. This is my phone recording. Hopefully it's playing. There. What I'm going to do is that I'm going to the dialer and I'm going to dial by hashtags. Now I break everybody up with different hashtags. We'll cover that in just a second. So for the 4th day of the month, my hashtag would be #4COI. Now I've taken my entire database of 128 people and I've given each one of those 128 people a hashtag. I start at the top and I work my way down, and going backwards, see if I can do that. Remember this slide where I've got small bites of people? The first 5 people in my database, or as I'm sorting it out, will be hashtag 1 COI, hashtag 2 COI, all the way through to 28. This allows me to organize the people I have to call in manageable, equal, and bite-sized pieces. I then go into my KV Core, and in KV Core, down on the bottom, you'll see where it says contacts and then dialer. I'll press play on it. I'm going to hit the dialer, and then I'm going to dial by hashtags. And I'm going to place today's date, which today is the 10th. So mine would be hashtag 10 COI. And it's going to pull up the people I want to speak to. You'll notice that there's a dialing number right there. It's going to cut it down because I pressed dial. It'll actually call. Now, where do you do this? Please do this in the car. Do this anywhere. And here's the reason why. When you're calling the people, the script is something like this. Hey, I'll use Kenya because she's right in front of me. Hey, Kenya, it's George Philbeck. Hope you're doing great. I just wanted to call. Your name popped up on my phone yesterday, popped up again today. And I'm taking that as a sign from God. I figured I needed to give you a call. Tell you I was thinking about you. Tell you I love you. I miss you. And let's use her as a past client. I know that, a couple of years ago when we were buying and selling a home with you, we talked a lot. And I let the world get in the way. And I hate that I did that because friendship's important to me. And I just wanted you to know that I'm really, really sorry. And I should have been more engaged in our friendship. And I felt compelled to apologize to you. Now that first call, that's the introductory call, and we take responsibility for it ourselves. That's the reconnect call. So when you're looking through your list of where you find these people on your phone and Facebook and everything else, remember, you don't have to be instantly friendly with them. Most people are magnanimously grateful when you apologize. The truth is, if there's somebody you want to reach out to, we do owe them an apology because the chances are we haven't communicated to them consistently and really been the best of friends that we could be. I'm going to challenge you to have that script with them. When you put together your list, because that's the first thing you're going to do. And when we organize that list and we start breaking them down into hashtags of the days, remember, hashtag 1 through hashtag 28, it'd be hashtag 1 COI all the way through to 28 COI. That'll tell you today what you're going to do. And I'll show you on my phone the 4 people I have to call today because that's how I figure out what I do every day. And when I do that, I call them when I'm driving, and here's why. In any conversation, we'll talk about them, and almost inevitably they respond with this. Oh, well, how's the real estate market? What I want to do is I want to establish a trusting relationship. I'm going to challenge you to say this. The market's great, but this is a personal call. I'll be back in the office in about an hour. Is there a real estate question you have? No, I was just checking. Terrific. As I said, this is not business. This is personal. I owed you an apology, Kenya, and I felt really compelled to do so. That's the first call. Do y'all see how I just pushed it away? I deflected real estate on there. This is not a sales call, and I don't want them to think of me as a real estate agent. Yes, they will eventually do that. I have to have them think of me as somebody that cares about them. If somebody doesn't feel that you care, they will never work with you. You will never do business together. Why would you? Unless it's an absolute necessity. Great example, Open Door, OfferPad. Nobody has the illusion they care. We're simply looking for a number that makes sense. Our relationships are database. Our relationships are that. They're all relationships. I want to challenge you to make sure you're always coming from the relationship first, not the, hey, do you have a referral for me? That is rather off-putting. Does it work? Absolutely. After about 5 months, you can play a game with them. But for right now, we're building a database that we can consistently call people, have a conversation about them, never discuss real estate. In fact, deflect when real estate comes up because it's a personal call, and just be interested in how they're doing. Is there anybody here, any show of hands for the people that I can see, anybody here be comfortable having a call with somebody with the singular goal of making them feel better and letting them know that they're important? That's your mission. Can anybody here not do that? Not do that. Joey, pay attention, not do that. I know you can't do it. He's multitasking, writing notes at the same time. You can do this. And remember, it's just about people. And these are people that already like you. I'm going to walk you through the actual steps of exactly what we're going to do. So let's get back to this. All right. Getting started, you need to make a list. This is mission critical. This is really, if y'all are thinking, okay, I want to do this, first thing I want you to do, you have to put this on your schedule. You have to say, I'm going to make this happen on a regular basis. So first thing we're going to have to do is we're going to have to make a list, and a list of everybody you know. Now, you'll notice at the bottom in green, first name, last name, phone number, mission critical. You've got that on your cell phone. You can get that through Facebook. You can do all sorts of ways to get it. But what I want you guys to do is on an Excel spreadsheet, put together at a very bare minimum, a list of people that you feel need to be in your database. And we're not going to have you talk to them just yet, but we're going to first set it up, get it squared away. For requirements, first name, last name, phone number. I'm going to show you how to get the email. And as far as the address, do this as a simplification for yourself. Separate the house number from the street, and then city, state, and zip. These are the bare minimums. They come from your phone, from social media, from poker or bunco or church. Holy cow, church works all the time. Sporting events. If you meet somebody at Starbucks, what do you do during the day that keeps you busy? Oh my God, that's amazing. I'm fascinated by that. That's really cool. How did you become an orthodontist? Oh, that's wow. How many children do you have? I don't have any. So have a conversation with them and then ask them something as simple as this. Hey, do you have a business card? In my line of work, I like to recommend people that I know to other people. And what do you do? Well, I'm a real estate professional. I help people buy and sell homes and protect their assets as best I can. But really what I'm looking for is I don't have an orthodontist. Are you seeing how these conversations occur? Is it starting to gel that you can have a conversation with anybody, and if you like them and they're interesting, carry on? I will tell you, and I'm not proud of this, but the truth of the matter is I've listed 3 homes from an ABC store. That's a liquor store here in Florida. Now, I no longer list homes from the ABC store because I don't like going to them anymore. But I swear to you, that's the honest to God truth. This is an ABC. Stop laughing, Kenya. All right, all of y'all. I'm watching you guys. You don't think I can see you, but I can't. Quiet. That's not cool. But that's the honest to God. In the liquor store, just talking to them, having fun. These are 3 people that I ended up selling a home for. And they weren't really managed in my database. One was, and that's where it came from. All right, how are we going to communicate with these people? We're going to move fairly quickly through the rest of this part. You're going to communicate by phone, by video, update videos, and by monthly just sold postcards. I'm going to break each one of those down so you know exactly what they're looking at. By phone, remember how we talked about the 5 people a day? We're breaking this down. Here's the trick on how to set up your software, by the way, or how to set up your KV Core or whatever software you're using, because it works in every one of them. Put everybody in, and everybody gets a tag or a hashtag of COI, hashtag COI, because I use hashtags. That means I've got this big group of 128 people or 25 people. It doesn't matter how many it is. And each one of those, I can sort them and collect all of them at once by saying search by hashtag COI, center of influence. Boom, there's all 28 or there's all 100. But I want to break it down even more. So inside of this, now that I pulled them up, I would do something just like this. I'm actually going to show you because I think this is really important. And I don't think I did this service just a minute ago. This is awesome. I love having 3 screens. All right, so this is my KV Core. Maybe. Maybe not. Bear with me a second. Sorry for the delay, but this is important. So let's say I've uploaded everything. By the way, if you're going to upload them into KV Core, your master list, you can send it to the text in KV Core through the chat box down here. Y'all can see the KV Core screen. Is that true? You see it? Great. Thank you. You can send it to them through the chat box by saying, I've got a list to upload, or you can go into the lead engine, and in the lead engine, it is somewhere in here. No, maybe it's in marketing. The upload is in here somewhere, and you just have to look for it. You can ask them and they'll tell you. Bottom line, this is what's going to happen. So I've got now center of influence all, and I actually have mine saved up here. This is my entire center of influence. So what I want you to consider is I just created this list, and then I uploaded this list into KV Core. And the one thing I said, the hashtag I wanted them to have on that was hashtag COI. So I can search by the filters, hashtag COI. And this is all the people that are in my database. This is my entire database, guys. And it's split between Jackie and I. 70 people. That's 25 or 30 sales this year. It's automatic. It happens every year. I can't do anything about it, but I have to follow up with them. So once you, and I wanted to show you that because I wanted to show you the power of what happens with this. Yes, I have a slight advantage. I've been doing this for 20 years, but remember, there's this big gap where I wasn't involved with creating database. I wasn't working regular transactions. I didn't talk to anybody for 7 years and drank a lot of scotch, which is how I got the 3 listings. So now I've got everybody in my database. They're all part of COI. So I can do this. And right now I can do click on this button right here and I can do a mass email. I'm going to walk you through that in a little bit. But more importantly, I'm going to go to the first one. You see up in the top, it says next. And I'm going to scroll down here into hashtags and I'm going to put in hashtag COI. Oops, sorry. Hashtag 1 COI. Now, we all know that 1 COI means that on the first of each month, I'll be calling them. That's the reason that we separate it. So you don't have to think about who to call, and you're going to do that. Now, once you do this one, and I'm going to delete that because I've already got them, I call them on the 16th. Click the next button. Same thing right here, hashtag 2 COI. Click the next button. Go all the way through it till you get to 28, then start over at 1. This is a continual task that must not be stopped. You have to work through this one from start to finish and just say, I'm going to do it. It will take you maybe 20 minutes. 1 COI, the next one's 2, then 3, then 4, then 5, then 6, and 7, all the way down to 28, then start over at 1. Go through your whole list. At this point, you've got an entire list that is hashtag searchable. And what I mean by that is you can very easily on your phone or on the computer, jump in, hashtag 1 COI. These are the 2 people we'll be calling on the first of each month. Here's another way at which you can do it. And this is so important. I hope this works, guys. So please bear with me. Thank you for your patience. Awesome. All right. If I'm on my my phone, I go to my KV core. Can you all see that? Is that good? Give me a thumbs up. You can see my phone. Awesome. I'm going to go I'm going to go to dialer. So what I did is I clicked on dialer. I'm going to dial by hashtag 1 COI. Search. It's thinking it'll take a second. That's because what it'll do is it'll normally pull up all the hashtags. Bear with me a second. I'm on a wonky internet, which is the reason it's so slow. So what'll normally happen is it'll drop down all the hashtags. It's not doing that for whatever reason, but I promise you it does. And I'm sure it's because my internet is not up to stuff. I'll go on the search and these 2 names would pop up as well. There's also another option you can dial by contacts. And in this contact, you can also type in and then the search will pull it up there as well. It's not doing the job that it should right now, and that's just my phone. So I'm sorry that I'm not able to give you the best tutorial on this, but I guarantee you it works, and it works at an amazing level. This is my secret to making my phone calls, and I do it wherever I want, and I don't think about who I'm calling. I simply call whoever's today's date. So today I'm going to call today, and I'm not working tomorrow, although I do make calls on Saturday all the time because I'm not doing a real estate call. I'm doing a call to make sure they know that they're important and have a conversation with a friend of mine. I can do that every single day. And since I'm not talking real estate, I can do it on Sunday, but I'm opting out tomorrow because I've got a lot going on. So I'm going to have to make those calls today. Now, here's the really cool part. Y'all pay attention to this. You know how we talked about drinking this bucket of water, 128, and just drinking that gallon of water? Most people will do a magnificent job with the A's, the B's, the C's, the D's, the E's. But if your name's with a P or an S or a W, there's a high probability that you're going to be missed month after month after month, simply because it becomes an overwhelming task that has to be scheduled for hour blocks. I want 15 minutes to 45 minutes a day, wherever you happen to be. If you're driving in a car, call somebody you love and tell them. By the way, once you're done with that and you're done with a call, if you're using the dial by hashtag, which is what I use, it tells you to put in notes. It says, do you want to put in a note? You can add a note about your call, which you should do. This is a systematic way to have these conversations. And as I was saying earlier, if you miss somebody this month, it doesn't matter. There's a high probability you'll get them over the next 11 months. If you miss somebody like a Philbeck or a Werner, and because their name is so far in the list, every single month, they're not on your database. This allows you to be human and make mistakes and doesn't force you to be super, super on point the entire time. If you screw something up a little bit, good, we can fix it. All right, let's go back to this. This is how you communicate with 5 people over the course of the month. You're going to hit almost everybody. And here's the fun part. They will never know that you're calling them the same day of the month. And if they ever do, so no, it's just an ironic coincidence, and change their date, change their hashtag. I also want you to do a video communication once a month. I'm going to cover how to do this, and I'm going to prove why this is a valuable asset for you. When you're communicating or video communication, there are only 3 topics. It is a maximum of 60 to 90 seconds. Bloopers or being human is good. And there's a call to action. So here's an example. And I wrote this down. This is literally exactly what they all say. Hi, so-and-so, hope you're great. We just wanted to say we're thinking about you and hope this finds you well. This is a short update we've been up to, and be sure to let us know where to go for magical dining. Y'all see, because I'm in the Orlando area, so we have magical dining, and it says magical dining choices. Kids are back in school. Hurricane season is not over. And the video. Now I have this formatted in KV Core. I put it out every month and we just email it to them. Here's the cool part. Everybody here know about open rates or click-through rates. When you have something, if somebody clicks through an email, they're usually fairly low, like 3 or 4% is a click-through, meaning they get opened. They may be open, but there's never any engagement. We put out one where we were going to Italy, and it was, I think, like a month or 2 after this one. And in there, it just said, going to Italy, need recommendations. And I forgot what the other 2 topics were. We have 70 people. At that point, I think we had 76 people that were in our database. We got rid of some that we didn't like and we weren't going to call. 30 plus responded with suggestions. 30 plus opened this up, watched the video, asked, we saw the questions, got enough involved, and then replied back to us. Do you all have an idea how powerful that is to have engagement coming back because they're interested in something that, if you didn't know me and I sent you an update, a monthly update, you'd be like, I don't know this person. But if I'm having a conversation with you all the time, if we're talking about you and I become a friend of yours and we never talk about me, the monthly update is actually a great communication platform, and it fosters a deeper relationship. Remember how we could search by all of KV Core, hashtag COI, grab everybody, mass email already created. The templates are so easy in KV Core. You can make them very nice. Text on top, video right there. You're good. Hold on 1 second, guys. Yes, sir.
Hey, George.
Hey, Mike, you here?
Yeah, no.
Oh.
I got a guy that's going to be coming that way. Probably be there about 10:30.
Have him ring the doorbell. I'll be right here waiting for him.
Okay.
Thanks, brother. Appreciate it.
All right.
Bye now. Sorry, our AC decided not to work yesterday. So you guys, that was a absolute must call, more important than even every one of you, because I will not have Jackie in a very hot house. That is not how a man takes care of his beautiful wife. By the way, if y'all don't know this, she's pretty, but I'm actually the pretty one. She's the brains of the outfit. It's true. At first blush, everybody's like, oh, she's so pretty. And after I talk for 5 minutes, they're like, she's the smart one, isn't she? I go, yeah, pretty much. Yeah, that's how it works. Yeah. Gentlemen, know your place. Marry a woman that you don't deserve, and then never, ever, ever let her see you with hair like this. And always make her coffee in the morning with this much Bailey's in it every day. Okay. That keeps it. She does. I'm kidding. She doesn't do that. All right. Back to the video communication. This is a wonderful way to keep them updated about you, because your job is to have a conversation about them in every situation. This script that's here is you're going to come up with your own, and it's unbelievable. It's duplicatable every time you swap out the video, you swap out the bullet points, and this tagline right here, this short update, just something quick. There are no more lines in here. It is important that it is minimalistic. You want them to watch the video. That is mission critical. Now, you may have the ability to impart or to do your own video. By all means, feel free to do so however you want. Jackie and I throw ours up on YouTube, and then we put YouTube video link into the KV Core template. Works every time, works awesome. The last form of ongoing communication is postcards. In that, the template for what we're working on today is a link to this exact postcard. Now, these postcards are different than most everybody's seen. You'll notice that there is no price and no address on here. Now, that's important. We are not soliciting anything except in this situation, this beautiful, smart woman and some guy behind her actually sold another home. We are looking for, and this is how you sort it. Can y'all see me as well? This is how you sort mail in my house. Trash, trash, trash. Oh, look, Jackie and that guy standing behind her sold another home. That's what we want them to do. It's just saying we're a real estate agent. Now, I'm going to cover the price on this in just a second because it's important you know exactly what this will cost you over the course of a year. And then let's gauge, since this is really your only expense, let's gauge how to do it. Let's gauge if it makes sense. Joe, you send these out for me because I've asked him to, and he's awesome. When you send these out for me, how much time does it take you to download the contacts and then upload the PDF?
45 minutes.
45 minutes. Outstanding. Shoot a quick video, drop it into a template. We're looking at an hour a month commitment on the first of each month. Now, the postcard won't get there till mid-month, which is totally fine. And the email will get there right away as an update on the first of the month. And the people you're calling that are number one will have an opportunity to see it. And the people that you're calling that are number two, that are hashtag 2COI, are actually probably going to comment on your update. Oh my God, that was kind of cool. You'll have an ability to do that. And it's simply, I just wanted to keep you informed of what we're up to and my call to action, whatever that call to action would be. In this case, it was like, well, I'm going to Italy or magical dining. We want to know that and let them respond. The conversation is the gold part. Notice there is a big picture here. By the way, it says we only work with 5 clients at a time. This template is yours. If you are a single person and a single agent, you are now a we, because you are a partner of mine. We are all partners. You can use any home I sell. You can use most of the homes that are available from that EXP agents have sold or other brokers that sell. I'm not kidding about that. I see Peter's going, heck yeah. Peter, send this thing out, man. Steal my home. I don't care. We are business partners, aren't we? We are partners, right? So if you change this to I, terrific. But if you want to leave it at we, absolutely do it. The whole mission here, by the way, that we only work with 5 clients at a time because incredible service requires incredible attention. We put that in there because there is a benefit for some exclusivity. That's the reason it's there. We sold the home to make room for yours. Put in your personal cell phone number here. So on the front, big picture, call to action. We sold a home, find out what your home is worth instantly. Text your home address. Now, here's why. If they text the home address and you've already mailed something to them, you know who they are by going to the tax record. You don't need anything else. Now you got their phone number. You should already have it anyway. These are people that already love you. On the back, big picture, another call to action, thinking of buying. Even on new construction, we put that in because we kept having people going to new construction and not bring us up. So we wanted to reinforce that. Folks, this is your call to action. This goes out once a month. It is absolutely doable. And here's the cost. Printed and delivered 64 cents per card. 64 times, let's say 100 times 12, that's $768 investment. That's your annual if you have 100 people. If you take 16 homes, let's say 10 homes from this, it's 10 homes, $100,000 in real estate sales. $750 or $68 investment. Is it going to happen overnight? No, you're building something. But everybody I can see, who here does not plan on being in real estate 3 years from now? Show me your hands. Does not plan on being in real estate in 3 years. Then why don't we just practice like we're going to be selling homes for the next, I don't know, 10 years or so, and actually build our database so we can do less work and get better clients. That's the whole purpose behind database, guys. All right. How to communicate on social media. 10 purposeful social media engagement posts, replies daily. Instant message them. All social media promotes direct message communication. Great example to that is if I were to send, and I do this on a regular basis, but if I were to send one of you an instant message through Facebook, because that's all I use, because I'm 56, I don't know anything about the Instagram. But if I were to use social media, Facebook, and I were to send one of y'all a message and you replied back, the algorithm in Facebook thinks, wow, these two are really good friends. Your feed is going to be much more prevalent in my feed. I will see more about you because Facebook's algorithm says, hey, they're connected. That's a good thing, because then I don't have to search for information. I have an ability to communicate with them via social media all the time. By the way, there's something I do on a regular basis. It's actually my Sunday job, and I didn't do it last week. I go to Facebook and I go to events, and then I go to birthdays, and I send a video instant message to my friends that are having an upcoming birthday. It goes something exactly like this. Wait a second. Y'all want to see what that looks like? I'll come back. I'll do it at the end. What I'll do is I'll share my screen after we're done, so I want to move quickly through it. And I'm gonna actually do one of those right now because I can share my screen. So you're gonna see me record it. You'll see whatever's on my camera, and I'm gonna do a live Facebook birthday thing for everybody when I'm done. So somebody remind me, Joe, remind me. I'm gonna do a Facebook thing when I'm done. You want to communicate on social media, and 10 purposeful engagements is throughout the day. It's a ballpark estimate. This is not a sit down and schedule that out. It's whenever you get on Facebook. If it's somebody that's part of your database, you'll know them, you're talking to them, just comment on them, say something nice, tell them something that makes them feel good. One of the most important things that come up at this point, and this is we're at the end right now. This is it. The big challenge is, well, I only have 28. Okay. Where do I get more? Everywhere. But what do I do and how do I add them? This is in the flyer that Joe has dropped in again. It's today's info presentation. I challenge you to print this because you want this part available to you. This is how you will go about. The system for adding people to your database is pretty easy and pretty straightforward. Get their business card or their phone number and for their spelling. So you know how we're talking, and I had that conversation with somebody. Said, so what do you do during the day that keeps you busy? The reason I say that is it gives them the ability to say anything they want. I'm not saying, what do you do for work? I don't work. Oh, okay, well, now we can't talk. What do you do during the day that keeps you busy? Has anybody seen the movie Arthur? Y'all got to see the movie Arthur. I mean, it's as good as it gets. His Arthur, when asked, so what do you do for a living? I race cars, fondle women, play tennis, but I have weekends off and I am my own boss. That was his answer. Ask them, what do you do during the day to keep yourself busy? Oh my God, can I get a business card from you? Or get the spelling of their last name. How do you spell it? Write it down somewhere. And then if you get their phone, you have to have their phone number. You have to. So it's going to have to be an engaging conversation. You can figure out a way to get their phone number. Research them in the tax records and add their address to them in KV Core. By the way, when you're adding them to KV Core, today's date is the 10th, right? I think so. Is that accurate? Is it the 10th? Okay, cool. Thank you. Thank you. Joe, come on, Joe. It's the 11th where you're at already. You're way ahead. He's literally next day. It's right?
Not yet. 9 p.m. here.
Not yet? Oh, yeah, because it's only 9:30 at night. Okay, good enough. But they would be, since it's the 10th today, they're going to be hashtag 10 COI. When I'm adding somebody, I add them on the day that I started the conversation with them. And here's the reason why. Enter them into the CRM, add a hashtag with today's date, as I said, 10 COI. The day after, call them about meeting them, leave a message and text them. And here's the text. Hey, John, I left you a voicemail. Here's why. If you just leave a voicemail and you're like me, we don't really check voicemails. But if somebody sends me a text that says just this, hey, George, I left you a voicemail, I'm literally going to do what I'm told to do. I will go check this voicemail and I'm going to listen to it. So tell them in there, hey, God, it was just really great meeting you. And I love that, planning, that is just awesome. And thanks for your card. I really enjoyed our time together. Feel free to call me if I can ever help, do anything. And I'm sure we'll be in touch soon. Friend them and follow them on social media and like something. This is not the same day, it's the next day. And here's why. Every day for the next week, we're going to try and do something where we have a form of communication. That's a very mild, easy way. Instant message them, tweet them about something on social media. Now, since we're friend requested them, that's great. Most people have something social or public that's out there, even if you're not a friend. Find something that's of interest that you're interested in and ask them about it. Oh my God, I saw you guys went rock climbing a couple of weeks ago. That looked really cool. Where did you go? Can you recommend a good instructor? Some communication that asks them to come back, and it's almost exclusively about something they've done that you're interested in that isn't genuine interest. If you don't care about rock climbing, don't ask about that. But I sent you a friend request. It's something that's basically this. I sent you a friend request. You must be really busy. Your family is incredible. Oh my God. Anyway, accept it if you got the time and love whatever you want. Figure it out, guys. This is not rocket science, but this is how you're going to add them. Day 4, call them about something in social media. And if they're day 5, if they've accepted your friend request, and there's a high probability they would have, particularly after the instant message and text, call them about something on social media and ask about referring them. Remember up here, that first call I mentioned, that's terrific. But here I'm going to say, I got a question for you. What's the best way if I'm referring you to some of my clients? What's the best way for me to do so? Would you like me to do a group text? Would you like me? Because for me, I like a group text. Do you see what I just did? I said, for me, I like a group text. What's the best way for me to refer you? Should I have some clients that need some financial planning? And they'll gladly tell you. If they deflect if they ask you about referring you or your business, I appreciate that. We could talk about that later. I really needed your information. That was what's most important. Let me grab this from you because it's important that I know how I can refer you. Just deflect. If they push it, by all means, tell them. Same way, just shoot me a text if you know somebody that's buying and selling or that wants to buy or sell or invest or create an investment property. I can help with all of that. And also, this is important. You all have to say this. Also, if they need an electrician, a roofer, I know great electricians, great roofers, plumber. That nobody knows a good plumber, so I can't help on that. But everything else I can. Impart some humor if you can do that in any conversation. Day 6, if you know their address, thank you note about the call. If you don't, that's okay. Day 14, text them about something they did on social media. Day 21, text them about something they did on social media that you love about on social media. So we've got now, and this shows up as a to-do list. You're going to assign this action plan to that person. And these are all tasks that you need to do. What we're trying to do is to not have you think about what you should be doing and just get the stuff out of the way. If you wake up and you go hashtag 10 COI, and there's 4 people you got to call. While you're driving, coming back from getting a cup of coffee, dropping off the kids, whatever the case may be, standing around outside, call them. Tell them they're awesome. Tell them you love them. Put down in the notes what you talked about, and then don't worry about it until something pops up on your to-do list because it's already in your to-do list. If they're brand new, you're going to do these items with them all the way down to day 21. And the reason we don't have anything else is because next month, 28 days later or 30 days later, which is going to be day 30, they're going to show up as hashtag 10 COI, and I'll call them. They will have also gotten an update email from me, which they probably don't open yet because they don't know me that well. And there's a really good chance that they're going to get a postcard from me if I have their address. So we don't have their address. If you want somebody's address, here's what you say. Hey, John, I have a competition with my wife, and it's about putting together holiday cards. I want to ask you to do me a favor. May I please get your address because I'm going to beat her. I don't normally send them out, but I am committed to doing a better job at it this year. Can I please have your address so I can include you on my holiday list? You don't have to send one back to me. Absolutely. Who would say no to that? Now I have their address, and you should have these cards sitting around in your desk right next to you all the time. And here's why. Every time I get somebody's address and I need it, or I forget to put them on there, they get a hashtag Christmas card. That just happens organically. I've got regular Christmas cards that I write. And then usually Jackie and I will take a picture and we'll print up a big one. And all I have to do is click hashtag COI and hashtag Christmas card. And everybody that's getting my center of influence and everybody that I've hashtagged as a Christmas card gets a card because I just export their information. I send it over to amplifiedmail.com. and a list of 120 people get it directly mailed to their house. It takes 2 weeks to be delivered, be forewarned. Okay, because it's a class B mail, I think it is, it shows up slower. This is how you get their address. If you need to get their email, you ask them for an item of value. Say, hey, I've got something I want to send over to you. It can be something as simple as, hey, I got this coupon I want to send over, but you need to figure out what that is. And that's going to be up to you. I've got something I want to mail over to you, Kenya. It's, I think you're going to like it. Can I get your email address, your personal one, please? Sure. Here it is. What is it? It's something, it's, $50 coupon. It's a free this, it's a market update. Now, remember, next level conversations with this database, as you're going through it, you may say, hey, this is a business call. I love this one. This is a business call. I do this for my family and friends, and I wanted to make sure I offered it for you as well. I like to do like a perimeter search of your community so that you know everything that's happening inside of your community, what's buying, what's selling, what's closing, what's going under contract. And I like to send it out to my friends and my family at around 8 o'clock in the morning on Saturday, so it doesn't bother them, but it's available whenever they need it. It keeps them, give them kind of an update. It takes me about 1.5 minutes to get it set up. I'd be glad to do it for your home. Kenya, would that be cool if I set that up for you so that every week you at least got an update what's happening around you? Most of the time she's like, yeah, that'd be fine. If they say no, don't worry about it. Funny thing is, if you create a relationship well, they will actually ask you for it a couple months later. It's in their head. They're like, oh, hey, could you do that thing for me so I can see what's selling in my house? Absolutely. Kenya, be glad to. It's all about the relationship. Folks, that's database in a nutshell. You have to have systems in place to manage this at a very high level. And if you do, your business will go to something very similar to autopilot. We're communicating with our database with a phone call once a month, a postcard once a month, and an email update once a month. Assuming we reach everybody and we don't make a mistake on our phone calls, how many contacts, if it's 12 times 3, that's 36 contacts per year. And that doesn't include social media. That doesn't include personalized touches. It doesn't include a thank you card. It doesn't include, I had a great conversation. I have my address card already set and ready. I'm just going to fill this out and drop it in the mail. This is the extra touch. It doesn't include a birthday card for their child, which is huge. It doesn't include the extra touches. This is where you can take it from great to awesome. Now, micro parties, and I'm not going to dig into those too deep this time, but micro parties are basically, I would take that 100 and I would divide it by 10. January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, and September and October. I invite 10 of them to meet me at a place. I'm going, hey, listen, I'm having a little happy hour. I've invited some friends. I think you'd be a great fit. I'd love to have you come join us. Here's the information. That's a phone call. Then I send them a text. Hey, here's some more information about where we're going to be. And then I'm going to send them an email. Here's the directions on how to get there. We'd love to see you. It's tomorrow. My lender pays for the drinks. My lender pays for the food. Okay, because my lending partner, and if you got to pay for that, fine. Pay for the food, have them pay for the drink or for some appetizers and buy everybody a drink or two. You're making better relationships. That's what a micro party is. And it's not the party that's important because only half the people will show up. What is important is the 3 to 4 touches before and the 3 to 4 touches after. Oh my God, it was a great party. Thank you for coming. Oh my God, it was a great party. I wish you would have been there. But next time I do this, I'd love for you to come. You would have been the one person that everybody wanted to meet. It's a shame. We can do it again soon though. Do these micro parties on the 3rd Thursday of every month. It's up to you. Pick whatever you want. The reason we don't do it in November is because of Thanksgiving and obviously Christmas. But why wouldn't you invite people to these micro parties with maybe 7 to 15 people maximum? You'd be amazed. They show up with referrals for you regularly. It's bizarre how that happens. But there's an extra 8 to 10 conversations that can be had with every single person in my database over the course of a year. And you got to think we're at 36 plus 9 or 10 more plus social media. We're like 60 or 70 communications. If you don't get the fact that at that point you are a friend or they shouldn't be on your list, those are the people that will refer you. Those are the people where you and your relationship will beat out Open Door, OfferPad. And just a little footnote, everybody here, if you're not a member of Express Offers, which gives us the ability to directly compete with Open Door and OfferPad and bring cash offers, multiple cash offers to our clients, you should be. It is important, okay? It is very important to be a member of Express Offers. We have access to that. It's part of your arsenal, and that gives you the ability to compete directly with Open Door, OfferPad, Zillow Offers, and anybody else that's buying homes, institutional buyers. We have them as well, and you get a commission on it. Y'all hear that? You get a commission. If it's going to be something they're going to flip, and some of them are, they're going to be 70 cents on the dollar offers, but you're bringing offers. If it's something that's going to be flipped, you get to list it as well. That's the commitment. We have commission on both sides. Folks, your database is the most important thing. There's nobody on this call who doesn't want to be in real estate for the next 3 years and start thriving through this. It takes time and discipline. The people I coach on a regular basis, I say this all the time. I know that they will agree with me wholeheartedly. It has to be on your schedule. You have to schedule it and say, okay, I'm going to work an hour on this. And I use, for me, my schedule is an hour at noon because I'm on the calls till 9:30, and then I start my day where I'm working from 9:30 on through, except for Tuesdays because that's my coaching day. So I have availabilities for me at noon, and noon is my hour on the business. If this is what you're going to put into place, don't do it today, but on Monday, put your hour, block the time, and put in, get my list uploaded. And then on Tuesday, something else that is going to do it. And every day of the week, you should have something you're working on your business. That's what gets your focus. If you do that consistently for 2 weeks, give an hour a day working on your business. This should be the number one thing you're working on. Your database is the long-term business goal of yours. It will be your business. What I challenge you to do is schedule it, not the day of. Schedule it ahead of time. You all know what you should be doing next week. Pick the 5 things that have to get done, and at 12 o'clock or 11 o'clock or whatever your time is, block off an hour and put in that subject of what that blocked off time is whatever it is. It's like upload database, and just do it. If you try and schedule like today, if I tried to schedule what my 12 o'clock looked like today, I'm going to, Joey, what's that thing called? There's a name for it. He had the best name. It was awesome. Conscientious avoidance. I think that's what it was. If I try to schedule something I'm supposed to do today, I'm like, oh, I should get that done. I look at my to-do list, I'm going to get lost. And I promise you, I'm going to say, well, I should probably make a Panera bread run. That's what I should do. You won't do the hard work. So put it on your calendar and make that part of your creative avoidance. Thank you very much. That's exactly it. Love it. You guys are awesome. Thanks, Liz. Appreciate that. Folks, build your schedule the week before of what must get done. Follow your schedule. Make this a part of it. You can do amazing things. I was going to show you something and I forgot what it was. Does anybody remember what I was going to show you? Because that's the end of my speech.
A birthday on Facebook.
Oh, that's right. All right, let's find somebody. Then we'll open it up. Y'all see it? Yes, everybody good? Damn, where are they? All right, so finding it on my phone is not working the way I wanted it to. I'm going to find it on, but you won't be able to see it, unfortunately. If you go into Facebook, I can share this for anybody that doesn't know how to find it. Move you guys over. Events. Birthdays. Thinking. So these are today's birthdays and what I would do. Oh, that's nice. Let's see. Who do I have to call? John Melzer. John's a good friend of mine. His birthday is when? This is all today. So I would just call John up. Darlene's a real estate agent, so I wouldn't call her. She's one of our business partners. Love Bill Crespo. And as you go further down, you start to see, like in this one, upcoming birthdays. This is getting ahead of it. So ahead of that would be, calling Larry Gaddy, who's a friend of mine. He's not part of my database, but I call him up into conversations like this. This I can share. Let me find somebody that I'm going to call. Thought that said Amber Hurst for a second. I was like, oh, that's not good. Joe Ledbetter. Perfect. Messenger. Y'all see my phone? Yeah. Okay. So I just pulled Joe up, and then in the chat box, or excuse me, in the camera. See the camera on? I'm going to hold down that button. So it goes like this. Hey, Joe, it's George Philbeck, and I know your birthday's coming up, and I didn't want to forget. I have not forgotten you. I think you're awesome, and I wanted to wish you a happy birthday. I just wanted to beat the rush. So I hope you're having an amazing day. I hope you're doing awesome, and I look forward to catching up real soon. God bless you. Bye now. Done. The power of something as simple as that is absolutely amazing, because they get it on the phone and she'll reply. I mean, honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if before we're finished, I get a reply back from her. Oh, thank you so much. Imagine doing that to your friends. That's one extra touch. Imagine doing that on a yearly basis for them. It's like, holy smoke, how cool is that? Now, I hope you know that EXP and KV, or excuse me, the KV Core can actually do birthday cards for you automatically, send them out to their home and everything. It's an automation if you want it. You can do birthday emails if you want it. Why wouldn't you? The more communication we have, as long as it's not real estate overload for them, the better off we're going to be in that relationship. All right. Thank you all very much for all of your input or for all of your time. I appreciate it. Any questions on this? We covered a lot today.
I have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
So I have a lot of contacts that are out of state because I haven't lived here very long. I do have contacts here, but should I add those to?
Absolutely. Absolutely. So I'm so glad you brought that up. Thank you very, very much, Alyssa. I appreciate it. Here's a script I use all the time. And for those that don't like scripts, anybody here not like scripts? Show of hands. Who does not like using scripts? Awesome. Alyssa, are you married?
I am.
Okay, cool. So if your husband is an expert at scripts, right? I mean, it's true. He knows the right way to respond. I'm going to give you an example. What is your husband's name?
Eric.
Eric. Okay. So if Eric hears this in your voice, Eric, there is one proper best answer. Now, one could be, what? Legitimate answer, but not good. The other could be, yeah, much better. But how about this? It's the best script. Yes, dear. That's the script. My mom used to use this on me. George, that meant get the hell off something. It was the perfect script and it made work. All of us use scripts. In a script, don't think of a script as a bad thing. A script is choosing the best possible answer for the environment that you're currently in. And what I say with that is when I'm having conversations with the people that I'm in relationship with up in Chicago, because I grew up there, it's like, listen, I was just talking to Todd Cohen. Todd's one of my best friends. I said, Todd, dude, do me a favor, keep this in the back of your head. I'm a real estate guy. I know that you work for Cisco. You're a food guy and you're a wrestler and you're awesome at it. It's a high school friend of mine. We've been friends since we were 7 years old. I said, do me a favor. If I have questions on that, I'm going to call you. If you or any of your family need to relocate or you need to interview the right agent. I do this for my family. I do this for my very good friends. Let me know where they're looking and I'll interview 3 or 4 agents for them. Because I speak real estate, I'm going to make sure that they're not going to get stuck with a listing agent when they're trying to buy a home that gets shoved off to a brand new licensed agent. Now, honestly, that's the conversation I would have. I can speak real estate. Use me as your leverage for you and your friends. If you're moving out of state to a different location or to an area where you just don't know a good agent, I'll interview the right ones and we'll be able to refer 2 of them to you so that you can take a choice between the best. That's the conversation. And that is a script. It's ad-libbed, but you can do this. Okay.
Okay.
Definitely call them. Good question too. Thank you for asking that. I got to call this out. Natasha, you still on the call? I'm sure she'll come back. Anybody have anything else you want to add? Jump in. Any other questions, please? Awesome. That frees me up, and it's, oh, one more thing, after party. And we're at the after party. Tricia, have we stopped recording on this already? I don't know if we did or not.
My Zoom is being crazy on my computer. I'm trying to figure this out. Bear with me.
All right. Echo, 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 echo.
It does say you're still being recorded. Maybe Joe can end it.
He might have. Joe, did you